Are you looking for a place for a vacation rental, second home, or just a place that you can enjoy for your family to make memories and have just a little piece of paradise here in Miramar? Well, luckily what we're going to go over today is here. We are going through the Beachside Condo, which is luckily right here, just across the beach from the Gulf, and we're going to go through all the different buildings that they have here. We're going to go through 2 different units inside this as well. So go ahead and let's join me on our journey. First thing we're going to take a look at is our 3-bedroom. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So first thing that you'll notice here is that we actually do have a gate for access in here for some extra security, which is really nice, right? So I'm not going to show you the code because, you know, that would be against the security. So let's go ahead and get this one going. All right, we're in. So let's go ahead and do a little lay of the land first before we get into the first unit here. So what you can see is that we have 4 different stories in here. Each and every unit or building that we have, there are 3. We have the C structure that's right here. We also have the B structure and then E way in the back. Some of the ones that we're going to be covering today is going to be the ones that are in C community as well as E, just so that you can see a variety. Where we're heading right now is into the C building, which is the one right here that we were just looking at the front of, that is right there looking into the Gulf area. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this unit and really just start to see what it's going to be like for you and your loved ones to own a little piece of this, and make sure that you stick around to the end because we're going to talk about what these homes, what these condos are going for, and we can talk a little bit about what that return on investment and what some realistic expectations are, because some of these people out there, they're not telling the whole truth. They're just trying to sell you something. All right, so here is Unit C. Let's take a look around. You can see that we have stairs on the first floor here. There's an elevator in each and every one of these units. So the one that we're gonna go take a look at is gonna be up here on the 2nd floor. So let's go ahead and venture on up. All right, so let's go ahead and check out our first unit here. The first unit that we have here, sorry, big old HVAC behind me. Well, the first unit we have here is the 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit. So let's go ahead and flip the camera here. And immediately when I come in, what do I see? I see the hardwood-like floors, some of which have that luxury vinyl as well. It looks just like the hardwood. The ceilings in here are at least 10-foot ceilings, so it seems really, really big in here despite the actual square footage. So this is a 3-bedroom unit. It's one of the bigger ones that we're gonna have, and this is in Building C. Now, Building C is the one that is right there on Scenic Highway. It's right across the street from the beachhead, which is going to be where, of course, everybody wants to go. All right, so what we're gonna do first is let's go ahead and explore the different bedrooms and the different styles that we have in here. As you can see, like, these ceilings are tall. That's way more than 10 feet. You can see that in this specific unit, they do have bunk beds. Now, if you're gonna be using this, you know, for the family, you're gonna be using this to rent out the rest of the time, like, this is really smart. So if you're gonna be using something like this for Airbnb, VRBO, or just using a local rental area, like, this is perfect because you're actually able to show more beds within the unit. Now, little trick with that too, if you are gonna do that, you also make sure that your sofa has a pull-out bed. You can add that as a bed. You know, there's all these little different things that you can do to show those. Now, there are other units as well throughout all the Emerald Coast, even here in Miramar Beach, that actually have like cutouts in the hallway where they put beds so they can add additional bed space in there too. But if you're curious which of those ones are, another reason to reach out to us, we can give you a list of the ones that will meet that criteria. Okay, now this specific unit, this is an owner's closet in here, so you can see that there's no door handle. But in here you can keep your own personal effects, and you could really make any closet your owner's closet. And over here is where your HVAC unit, that was what was really loud when we walked in. That's the space that we have in these rooms. Now, most of these, to include the unit that we're in now, which will be up for sale here in 2025, this does include all of the furnishings. Now, most of them will do that, and usually the linens, but you're gonna have to check with agents, with your buyer's agent, to ensure that that is gonna be listed. Again, another great reason to reach out to us. So here's the second bedroom. This one is a little bit smaller, but it also has a full queen. That's what you have in here. Most every single unit in here is gonna have the ceiling fans. And as you've heard before, this unit the entire complex was built in 2015, which makes it one of the newer complexes that have been built out here in Miramar Beach. So less of issues, right? All right, just to give you an idea what the closets and space are in here, right? Obviously this one's filled up, but some good space that they do have in each one of these condos, which is really nice too. A lot of the times we want to make sure that there's not too much closet space in here, but it does add to its square footage, which also makes it seem a little bit more appeasing for all your other people looking to rent in here. All right, so let's continue to go through here. First on our left is our single bath. So it does have that granite countertop, and I love that these granite countertops in here. It's actually throughout this entire unit, and it's got nice fixtures. These are all the ones that kind of came standard. But one of the things that you're gonna find throughout these units, and you can see that's luxury tile there, that each one's gonna be decorated a little bit different, maybe have different updates, things of that nature. So just to give you an idea, this is the tub shower combo that we have here, okay? Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you're going to end up taking this as, you know, the condo that everybody comes down to, where your family comes in, it just gets together each and every year, we want to make sure that we have at least 2 full baths when we're in here. And the reason, of course, that we need that is, I don't know, like trying to get the family together, going through 1 bathroom with everybody trying, especially 3 beds in here. Good luck getting 6 people out in any reasonable amount of time. So having those extra bathrooms really makes a big difference, especially when you're staying here. So let's continue back here. There's a couple of other different spaces. Now this is your water heater, big capacity for those that want to take long showers. This is funny, this is actually a flow through, okay? So there's a light in here, there we go. It's a flow through that we have in here, if I don't fall over myself. So you do have some extra space. Now, this is really nice too, because these units all have the capacity to have laundry inside the unit. Now, a lot of the times too, when you are on vacation, we don't always have in condo laundry. There's gonna be some other complexes that we'll look at that may seem a lot cheaper, but they may not be as close to the water. They may not have the best view, and they probably don't have laundry. And depending on if you're staying here for over a week or over a couple of days, yeah, that can really get as an issue, you know, or a real inconvenience. So here's the kitchen that we have in this specific unit. We're gonna go back over this. I've got some more cool features I'm gonna show you with this. However, I want you to see this living room. This is really spacious. It's got the can lighting throughout. This has that tray ceiling into the kitchen. It really frames this entire space out. Now you can imagine having this amount of space, this open space coming from the kitchen into the living room. You've got the TV, and of course you've got the light, which is going directly south over where the water's at. So we're gonna head out to the beach, so make sure that you stick around to go see the beach as well. And we got another unit that we're gonna take a look at and all the amenities in here. But I think this is really nice with this area. You can see that there's plenty of room for seating. So yeah, this is a 3-bedroom. You wanna put 6, 8, 12 people in here. 12 would be a little ridiculous, but you know, plenty of place for the adults, for the kids to actually be able to relax. They're not standing around awkwardly, sitting in uncomfortable chairs. This is really a great place for everybody to come around and not feel like you're bunched up, and you're able to get something like this for a pretty reasonable price. And again, make sure to stick around, because we do have those prices coming for you at the end of this video. Now not only that too, if you are curious, like what is the offset cost for these type of units, like what are they grossing for short-term rentals, it will really just depend on when you're gonna be using this and not. Again, a great opportunity. Reach out to myself, my team here, and we'll be able to get you those estimates. All right, guys? Also, there is a balcony out there. We're gonna go into this after we go through the master. Really nice to see. Now, I will caveat to it, because they do keep up on these units, that there is a little bit of construction going on, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about that when we get there. All right, let's go into the master. This is pretty awesome. I love this because in here, this is actually a king size bed. How many times have you been on vacation, especially if you're footing the bill, right? And you're the one that's inviting the family, right? And then you're used to being on this nice king size bed at home with your spouse or significant other. You're like, I'm sleeping on top of you, honey. Like, I can't take it. Like, it's too hot. Just there's not enough room. Well, in here, like I'll switch back to you. This is actually enough room in this unit to have a king size bed. Thank goodness we can actually sleep and really relax during our vacations. But really nice set that you have here. This is pretty popular type of furniture that you're gonna see here in the Miramar Beach 38 area, that kind of distressed wood, the white that you're gonna see. This is really popular that they do have around here. Now, there is a nice big window. These are all storm grade windows. Because this was built in 2015, you do have all the modern updates up to code, right? So everything's good to go. I didn't even really point this out, but all the rooms have nice thick floorboards throughout here too, but really, really nice space in here. Okay, so let's go into the master bath. Now this is really nice too. I don't know if you can relate to this, but maybe just in everyday life, but having two sinks, or what we call in the industry dual vanities, is pretty important. Why? Because you'd be sitting here really trying to get ready. You've got the one sink, and maybe like we saw in the other bathroom, there wasn't a whole lot of room to like put your stuff on the counter. And especially if you're staying in one of these units for a short amount of time, you know, most of the time those bags don't go in there. It doesn't really get taken out. So it takes up a lot of counter space. And as you're trying to get ready, trying to get out the door to do all the fun stuff out here in Miramar Beach and Destin, like it gets cluttered and it gets a little bit irritating. You're like, oh my God, this is taking forever, right? In this space, having something like this, sorry for the camera thing there, but having something like this is going to alleviate that. And there's plenty of space in here. These are a little bit worn, but really quality cabinetry. This is all custom cabinetry that you're gonna see in every single one that we do have. And we're gonna show you even in the other unit. Now, one thing that I think is really nice too is that there is a separate area for the commode, or you may call it the toilet. Let me turn the light on in here. Okay. There's a little extra air vent in there too, but this is really nice to have its own separate place so you don't actually have to worry about, you know, interrupting anybody else while doing your business. All right, so this is nice too. I think when you are on vacation, this is nice to have like a full stand-up shower, and let's take a look. It has its own soaking tub in here too, or what we would call a garden tub, right? Because it doesn't have the jets in here, but this is a nice deep tub that we're all looking at here. So you can see that this is fairly deep. I don't know if you can fit 2 humans in there at one time. You probably could. Really nice. It's got the tile on the sides as well. And just a really nice space, right? If for relaxing and, you know, just taking a load off here, right? And in here, it's a custom shower. This has got the tiles that goes all the way up to the ceiling, right? You do have your can lighting in here. And this is really nice. It's got, of course, the cutout and everything in here. It's graded, so you're not gonna have to worry about a ton of water all over the place too. Like, this is really, really nice space. All right, as I promised to, we're gonna go out and check out the balcony. Now, I am gonna tell you, well, you know what? I wanted to, but I wanna show you real quick the closets too. So there is a good sized closet in here as well that's pretty deep. Okay, I'm not gonna go too far into it. You can always pause in there, but it does go back into that area. This unit specifically isn't rented out all that often because they actually have all their stuff in there, but you could see that there was still plenty of space, even with all the stuff inside of that. So coming back out into the main area here, we're gonna go out to the balcony, then we're gonna get into this kitchen, all right? So it's really nice too, you know, maybe we're sitting out here in the living room and it's loud. You've got your kids, your grandkids going nuts, and maybe you just need a moment to step outside. Now, you're not supposed to smoke on the balcony, so if you do enjoy to have a vape or cigar or something, or cigarette, you're not supposed to do it out here. However, there are designated smoking areas. I'll show where those are later in the video, but it's nice just to be able to get outside. They're working out there. I'm hoping it's not too loud, but you can barely hear anything in here. So that's how good these doors are. They're, again, up to code, they're storm grade, so you're gonna be good to go in here. But it's really nice when things get a little crazy and you wanna step outside and enjoy the air. All right, let's go out there. All right, so first thing, we get a couple of Adirondack chairs out here, which is pretty nice. It's not the biggest place out here, but you can see this is the main beach scenic highway out here that we have in Miramar. There's a big old palm tree in front of me, and there's two different accesses over there. And I know that we kind of started out there, but we're gonna walk back out. So we are in the front building, building C, and right there where you see that crosswalk, that leads directly over to the public beach access. And not only that, you can't really see it from here. There's those guys working, but there's also a gazebo and everything else. We'll go ahead and walk down there as well, just so you guys can take a look at the different places that you're able to go. Now, most everything that you're gonna find out here, it's typically a quick golf cart ride away. As long as you're not crossing the main Highway 98, you can have a golf cart and go wherever the heck you want to. Matter of fact, in the summertime, that's most of what's on the street, which is why most people don't traverse this area, because it has all that extra stuff. Yeah, pretty nice. Okay, so as I promised, we're gonna get into the kitchen. So let's get off of me here and we can see into the kitchen. Now, one of the things that I always think about too is when I'm coming here with my family, my friends, I want a lot of space to entertain, right? I want as much space as I possibly can get. And not only that, for people to sit and converse and have a good conversation, right? So in here, we have a flat peninsula, granite countertop, dual sink, custom cabinetry all throughout this area. Like, this is a big space for a condo. It really is. And as you're back here, I know if you like to cook, I like to cook, guys, so don't hold that against me. But a lot of the times you're gonna come here, there's really good food here. You know, you wanna put some takeaway out here. There is tons and tons of room, like to put those boxes, to put everything in here, and it not to clutter the entire space. There's a lot of other condos that I've shown over the past decade in this area, and it just doesn't facilitate. Yeah, it's got access to the beach and everything, but my goodness, it is so freaking cluttered. This you're not gonna have to worry about. And of course you can expand over into the main table dining area that of course goes into your main area. But this is super nice. I just wanna showcase this because you have so much of a command of the room back here as you are entertaining. Like, you get to see everything, interact with everybody, make sure that you don't miss a second when you're actually here enjoying all the company of the family and friends when you are in this unit. Let's go back around. There is tons of storage space in here as well. Most of these condo units will come with all the different items like the pots and pans and plates and things like that, because in Florida, when you get any real property, you can put personal property into that contract. Now, I used to do real estate in Ohio and New York, and you couldn't do that. But here, yes, you can, all right? So these units came with the stainless steel appliances all throughout. Almost all the ones you're gonna have are gonna have a dishwasher, at least a single oven in here with the range, right? And we have a microwave up top. Now, one thing I always look for when I'm in here, is this a recirculating fan? And yes, it is. So most of these units, they're not gonna vent outside, so just be careful when you're cooking bacon. I know I do that all the time, and it will smoke the house out. It will smell amazing for a full 24 hours because of all the bacon, but if you're pan frying, just be careful. All right, so coming in here, we have the stainless steel dual door, the French door refrigerator, as well as we have your ice maker and water, which is nice having filtered water. Now, you do have a good sized pantry in this unit as well, and just real nice. You'll notice too that there's no transition with these floors, right? There's nothing. It is the same thing all throughout. And if you've ever stayed here, and I'm sure since you're watching this video, you have stayed in a place like this before, sand gets everywhere. So area rugs, beware. You might be replacing some of those, but having tile, this LVP that we have here, or some of these units have hardwood. Like, this is nice because it's easily cleaned. It's easier to maintain. This stuff can take a beating, this LVP, which is why it's in here. Your hardwood, if you get a nick or something in it, it's tough to clean. But you can see in here too, like, it is beautiful all throughout here. It doesn't change other than into the bathrooms where you have that nice tile. This is the big 3-bedroom unit. We're gonna go out, we're gonna go see the rest of the complex. I've got that other 2-bedroom unit, and once we get to see that in the back, I want to stick around because I've got more information. We're going to see that unit, and I'm going to tell you exactly what these things are currently priced here in the spring of 2025. All right, now that we saw that 3-bedroom unit, we're gonna venture over to the back end of this complex to show you the other one in the back. That's our 2-2 that's gonna be a little bit more affordable. So go ahead and join me. We're gonna go ahead and not only see that, but we're gonna explore the grounds so that you get a little bit more in tune on what's offered here. Okay, as we venture down to the end of Unit C here, you'll see that there are different racks down here for your bicycles as well as some grill pits for the owners and guests. So you have your own place to come out. If you want to go grill, you have it. And what you're also going to see here is that each and every one of these has its own designated space. So sometimes you go to the complex wondering, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a place to park, you know, I'm not going to get close enough to the building. In this case, you don't got to worry unless somebody's in your spot. Then you're going to have to call somebody. For the most part, you're going to be taken care of. So a couple of things about these units here too. We've already mentioned it's one of the newer units that are out here in the Miramar Beach area. We're talking 2015 is when this thing was built up. There's so many things, like I had to get a cheat sheet. As you know, I typically like to get cheat sheets. But what we have here is we've already seen inside that unit. Most of these have luxury finishings all through this like resort style that we're going to look at. And what we're going to really look at now is some of those actual features throughout here. So what I'd like to show you now that we have the unit behind us, let's go ahead and take a look inside the amenities. So the first thing that we have here is our pool and spa area. There's also a little overhang that we'll take a look at inside, which you can get a little reprieve from the sun. And there's also restrooms in here, guest restrooms that will be within here. There's also a desk that one of the management companies do use. Well, let's go ahead and take a peek in here. Maybe. Yes. So you can see this is goodnight pool that they've put in here. Really nice. It's 3 to 5 feet throughout here. In here we also have the spa. As you can see, we got it running right now. Really nice all weather. Does it get cold here? Sure. Are you going to be vacationing when it's cold? Well, that's up to you guys. Plenty of extra seats out there. You're not going to have to pay extra to get any of the seating here. There are some that are under this overhang as well. As I mentioned before, we do have the guest public bath. What we're going to look over here now is our Complex B. Now this is the one that is facing west. This has the 2 and 3 bedroom options throughout here. So we have A and B separated here. In here is where you'll find the desk, couple tables. And on the back side of this complex, you'll also see that we've got a couple of grill areas used for the guests, ice machine, and some vending, mailboxes, all the stuff that you would anticipate. So as you've seen, as we've been walking through this, we've got the outdoor grill area, some private access across the street to get into the beach. You've got just prime location here. I don't know if I really mentioned, but you're really close to pretty much everything that you want to be with. Usually within walking distance, depending on how far you want to walk, but to be able to get to the beach, to be able to get to some of the shops and some of the restaurants, you got a golf cart, you know, you want to rent one while you're here or what have you. There's just so much to do, so much to access here. So speaking of, there's plenty of stuff for me to show you as well. So we do have another outdoor seating area. This is actually the designated smoking area right in front of E, as you can see here. But plenty of nice seating. Looks like somebody drug some sun chairs out here too, just in case you want to get a smoke and get some rays. It's all here. So we're gonna go ahead and venture up here to the unit over here in E. This is going to be the 2 bedroom, 2 bath that we're going to look at. And then we're going to head out to the beach, and then we're going to talk about prices and things that you really should know before getting this as your family vacation home, for your personal secondary home, or whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, here's just a quick view from the top. This is really nice, and I don't know if you can necessarily see it all the way at the end, but that's the Gulf. This unit in the very back actually has a nice Gulf view for you to be able to go, and that's where we're gonna head here in a little bit in order to see the beach. All right, let's go check out this 2-bedroom, 2-bath space as promised. Now, as we come into our unit, we're gonna notice the same sort of things that we had before, the taller ceilings. Now, immediately here to the right, we do have a large closet with your water heater, so some extra stuff, usually just designated for cleaning supplies. And then we have another closet over here. Now, most of the units that I've seen typically will have the laundry unit in here, which is nice. Almost every single unit will have it, or this has been designated as the owner's closet, okay? So going into the main area here, we're gonna come back to this. This is the kitchen and the other bedroom, but let's go ahead and see the master first. Immediately in here, I also see that this is the same flooring that we had in the other unit, right? I also have another closet. This is now what they've used as the owner's closet. Now I can tell it's locked. All right. So immediately over here, I go and pan into the master. Again, this is really cool. Even in this 2-bedroom that we have here, this is still a king size bed. Like, look at the space in this room. Like, for a condo, I wouldn't expect that. I'd expect it to be a lot more tight. But in here, like, let's turn this around. In here, you can see there is tons of space in the master. So even in a 2-bedroom, you have tons and tons of space. Now, this is a little bit smaller than the 3-bedroom for the closet, but you can see that it flows through to each area, okay? Big old window going outside there. Obviously, that's where windows go, is it's outside. All right, and then we're gonna go into the master bath. So this one doesn't have a garden tub, but it does have a nice custom shower, right? So it's still got the tile. The tile goes all the way up. It still has the can lighting. It doesn't have separation for the toilet, the commode, and it only does have a single vanity. But the good news here is that we do have plenty of counter space. So let's go ahead and see the main room. This is where everybody's gonna be hanging out. All right, so in here we can see that we do have the granite countertops, which are super nice. We do have the custom cabinetry. We still have those stainless steel appliances. We still do have a dishwasher. Woo, hey. We also have the tray ceiling here in the kitchen, right? The difference here is this is clearly a bit smaller, quite a bit smaller than our 3-bedroom, but it's because our square footage has been condensed from 1,324 down to 995. But I'd say that they've done pretty good with this space in order for it to, you know, really do what you need it to do. It still has the 2 sinks, it still has a disposal, and it's still pretty nice. Now, with a 2-bedroom, you may not be entertaining as many people, right? We got a little table over here, you know, for some extra space outside of just sitting up here at the bar. You do have like a pull-out sofa and a couple chairs out there. So it's not a bad space if you're gonna have 2, 3, maybe 4 people staying here. Anything beyond that, it's gonna feel a little bit cramped, right? But it still does a pretty good job for what you're gonna get. And this is quite a bit cheaper than our 3-bedroom option sitting there right up front. So if you're looking to get someplace and we're like, we're not spending too much time in the room, we're gonna be out to the beach, man, this is it. All right, so where we're gonna go next is, I wanna show you over here, the other room. So what they've done here is they've actually put in a pocket door, okay? So it doesn't swing out or anything. It will come in and come out, right? Kind of nice, it does save some good amount of space. And then in here, check this out, what they've done. Just like in the other place, they put in some really nice bunk beds, right? So now we get to, when we rent this out, can say that, hey, it sleeps 1, 2, 3, 4 beds for 2-bedroom? Heck yeah, let's do it, all right? So let's take a look around. We do have another owner's closet, or just another good sized closet that they have here. It does have that little cutout here, so it does make the room feel a little bit bigger. This is what I tend to see more often than not for most condo units that we see around here. What you're paying for is the access, and we'll go out there to the balcony here in a sec. But let's go ahead and see the other bathroom. So in the bathroom, this is technically a master because it has an attached bath, right? Master with bunk beds. Woo! But we got a tub shower combo. It's not as nice as the other one that we did see, but still has pretty tall ceilings in here, guys. Still feels pretty open. And we still have that single vanity. And you can see that each unit is decorated on its own, like we had mentioned before. And it's really got a beach theme going for it, which of course is what people come here for. It's probably what you and your family are coming here for to enjoy, right? So we're gonna go through this main area. Let's go ahead and check out the patio area, or your little balcony. So this balcony here backs up to the end of the unit, so we're not facing the ocean anymore, or the Gulf of Mexico. But this is kind of nice because it's towards the end of the unit. You don't have another person there, or a siren going off. Not much to look at really, but it's nice again to be able to escape out here and get away from the noise. All right, so let's get a good pan around here just one last time, just so you get a good idea of what we have in store for you here in our tutus. All right. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk down to the beach. I'm gonna show you the first beach access there, just so you can get a couple of good views. We'll talk about the price of this unit and the unit that we just went through, and some of the average prices that we're gonna get there. So make sure you stick around. We got that coming for you guys, and much, much more. Okay, so now we are over here at the access over here in Walton County for the beaches. You can always tell when we do have public access to the beach. You can see that this is Guillermo's St. Beach access. I probably said that way incorrectly, but that's okay. But we're gonna go, as this is one of the major accesses to get over there for the Ilario. And just since we did walk by, I just wanna show you, that's the building, it's right there. And that's where that unit was. So that's where we're gonna go. And of course, some of the main reasons that we get a condo out here and wanna go to Miramar Beach is because of this beach, right? So we're gonna go out and take a look, enjoy some beautiful views. So let's go do that. All right, so as we get down to the beach, this is the beach that you're gonna have access to whenever the heck that you want to. Of course, pay attention to a lot of these signs. They're gonna be able to give you good ideas if you see flags or anything like that of what those sort of beach conditions are. And make sure, of course, when we're out here that you're recycling, that you're throwing your stuff out, not to pollute these different beaches that we have. But this is your access here, guys. Like, this is the whole reason that you want in here. Now you look at these other units, and let me turn this around. You know, you look at these other units here that are a little bit older, you know, maybe a bit smaller, right? Maybe not the ones over there. That looks like a single family. Whew. But those prices are gonna be ridiculous, right? In comparison to what you're gonna get for right across the street and have access to this beautiful, beautiful white sand beach. Now, as you can see, I've got my Chucks on, and there's gonna be nothing but sand everywhere. So just remember that for the type of finishings that you're gonna be looking at when you're actually going ahead and purchasing this vacation condo. But I'm gonna turn this around here because, you know, this is the site, this is what we love about this, what I love about living here. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I promised you, right? So what are some things that we need to know? So to get into a unit that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, depending upon the updates and the furniture, you're gonna be looking around, I've seen anywhere from $575,000 to just north of 600. Depending if you want the penthouse one, that's gonna be closer to that 600 or above range. Now, if you're looking for those 2-2s, those are going to be closer to $515,000, so clearly $100,000 difference, but you still get to get access to all this stuff here. So the one thing too that you may want to reconsider as well is when you are going to be purchasing something here, when you're not living here full time, you're going to be renting it out, what is the expectation? And I'll tell you right up front, if you are going to stay in this most of the time, specifically in the rate structure that we're in now in 2025, your gross income is going to help offset the cost of owning one of these condos, but it's not going to break even. It may not make money for you for a while, but it will make it way more affordable when you're able to, make some money off of this when you're not here. So what a lot of people are doing, especially when it comes to rates and things like that, is they're just getting it with the rate that they have now, enjoying it for what you want it for, which is for yourself and your family, to build that legacy, right? And to have something that could be generational, that you can pass down to the kids, and just memories for a lifetime, right? And then as the time goes, you build equity, you can refinance once the interest rates get better, and then it becomes a cash flowing asset. I'll be honest, like most of the stuff that you're gonna see in Miramar Beach here in Destin, unless you're paying cash, isn't going to be a positive cash flow, and most people aren't giving it up for nothing right now because they have so much equity in these condos and in these homes. So if you are going to look at that and you want to know realistic numbers, depending upon the condo unit, it's all different. So please contact me and my team. We can break that down for you, see what the real cost is going to be dependent upon when you are anticipating staying here, and we can get you set up for something like this with access to the beauty that's out here on the beach. But just don't take a look at this video. I have way more information about this area, way more information and walkthroughs about different condos and different homes if you're looking to relocate here. So check out some of these videos here below.